Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one here. You hating on LeBron again. I'm just telling the story of the NBA. I mean, why y'all get mad? I'm just telling the story. I mean, what else do you want? You want me to start lying like the LeBron media? So we're going to get into this. The first time Michael Jordan and LeBron faced a super team in their career in the playoffs. Right? Because I know we hear this about Michael Jordan got swept by the Celtics and all this, but his fans never put up Jordan's numbers. And they tell you they don't care. He got beat. Okay. We'll talk about that later on. It's okay to melt down. That's what they're pretty much saying. Whether you melt down or not, you lost, and that's their stance. So we'll talk about this in a minute, but let's look at this. What a coincidence. They both faced the Celtics, their first super team, right? Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And they call them the big three, right? Is that really accurate? Because for Jordan in 86, in 87, it was actually the big five, right? 5 Hall of Famers, and 4 of them started. And 4 of them started. And Bill Walton was coming off the bench, and if I'm not mistaken, he was the 6th man of the year, right? We look at LeBron James, right? This team was the big three. That's what it was. They came from different teams. They all were number ones on other teams. And we'll tell the story right here, but let's look at this first on Michael Jordan's side, right? It was his second year in the league. Second year, right? He had just came off of his rookie season, rookie of the year, led his team in 4 statistical categories. That's a record. Nobody ever did that. And he had no all-star help, no Hall of Fame help, no nothing, right? And we all remember this year, he didn't play a full season because he broke his foot, came back with like 15 or 18 games to go. They eventually made the playoffs, and Michael Jordan came in this playoff series and lit these guys up. Remember, they told Jordan to chill out, take a break, come back next year. Jordan, you already know how he is, right? Or LeBron fans, they might not know, right? But this guy, he didn't take no for an answer. He took the challenge, and he wanted to face the mighty Boston Celtics. That's what he wanted to do. And to me, I think he plotted. He was like, okay, you guys are going to beat me, but I'm going to show you something you never seen before, and it's coming off of a broke foot. So, like I said, 5 Hall of Fame players that he faced, opponents, 43 points per game, including the 63 points in that one game, NBA record to this day. Why does that seem so hard to break with, all the skilled guys of this era, the 2010s? Supposedly they were more skilled in the 2000s. Why is that so hard to break? Especially with all the 3-point shots these guys are taking. I mean, that seemed like it would be, you could break that in 3 quarters in the playoffs. So it's still a record. 5 assists a game, 6 rebounds a game, 2.3 steals, 1.3 blocks, 4.7 turnovers, 50% from the field, 100% from 3, and 87% from the line. Okay. Jordan will face his team next season, put up, similar stats, a little bit less per game, 35 points per game, but yeah, Jordan's first, 6 times out of Jordan's first 7 years, he faced the super team. 3 to 5 Hall of Famers. And only had 1 all-star teammate 1 year, and that was 1990. 6 times out of his first 7 years. 3 to 5 Hall of Famers. Wow, that's... I mean, wow. You would think the LeBron fans would be telling you that Michael Jordan lost with all this help. right? So you can see when the 90s came, dude wasn't showing no mercy on nobody, okay? Once he got to play a fair game, it was pretty much over. That's pretty much what they needed to beat him anyway. So let's look at LeBron. And this is his 5th season just coming out of the NBA Finals. Poo-pooed all over the place. Poo-poo everywhere. Against the Spurs in the 2007 Finals. Whew. Now he gets to play his first super team. After 5 seasons, he gets to know what a super team is. 2008, he plays the big three. 26 points per game, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 2.1 steals, 1.3 blocks, 5.3 turnovers, 38% field goal percentage, 23% from 3, and 75% from the line. Wow. So this will be considered 2 meltdowns in a row, right? But his fans will say, "Oh, you got to go look back. Look at his stats, man. He put up like 32 for that series, 32 points per game. It was something like that, right? 32, 35. Bro, 38% from the field, 23% from the 3, 75% from the line. In game 1, this guy had like 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers. And he shot like, it was something crazy, like 12% from the field. What? What are we talking about right here? And if I'm not mistaken, let me see right here. Because I thought that he was able to, let me see, 2008 NBA playoffs. Let me see, because I thought he was able to take them to a 7th game, which would be, how would that be possible with this guy shooting like this? Like what? Let me see. Boston, yeah. This guy took them to a game 7. They took Boston to a game 7 with this guy shooting like he just learned how to play basketball. 38% from the line. 38% from the field. 23% from 3. You got to be kidding me. And 75% from the line. So this ought to just tell you right here how weak of a team Boston was. Weak. The big 3. They let this guy take them to a game 7 with 26 points per game, but it on 38% shooting and 23% from 3, 5.3 turnovers, and 75%. Could you imagine? Wow. And what did the media say? They swept this under the rug. Probably because he was he averaged like 20, 25, 30, 35 points per game. This is a meltdown. This is a weak era. You should have got swept. You should have got swept after this. There's no way you should have made it all the way to game 7 doing this. Let me see something real quick. It's got to be in here. Let me see. I want to see per game what this guy was doing. I think I got it up in here. I don't know why not. No, this is something else. Because I did a LeBron. Let me see. I thought I did a meltdown video on him of what he shot. No, I don't have it right here, but I can't believe I don't have it in this other phone. Yeah, I'll do another video on it next time. But yeah, this just shows you how weak the LeBron era really is when this guy can take the big 3, the so-called great big 3 that ran him off into Miami, right? So next season, as we know, he had the number 1 seed over this big three in '09. And he won an MVP over all these great top 75 players, the big three, right? I don't think none of them ever even won an MVP. 2010 had the best record over the big three again, right? In the MVP over all these big three guys that's supposed to be this great competition. In both of those years, he had the best record in the NBA. So in the big three, what? In '09, no, my fault, 2010 was a number 4 seed, and LeBron was a number 1 seed. Wow. You just can't make this up. You just can't make this up. And I just, like, what? This is the East he was dealing with. From Jordan's second season, 86, all the way until 1991, he faced at least 3 to 5 Hall of Fame opponents in the playoffs. And it was more than that, because once we got to, like, what was it, 88? You talking about Patrick Ewing now. You talking about 89. You talking about Patrick Ewing and Barkley on top of playing the Pistons teams, and that went on to 1990. So you're talking about, I said at least, but it was some years starting in 88. You was playing, like, in the playoffs, what, 5 to 7 Hall of Famers in the playoffs. Not on one team, but LeBron never seen nothing like this, man. He messing with, like, Dwight Howard. The Dwight Howard was in 2009. This was the first time, and this is LeBron's 5th season. So his 5th season in '08, first time he's seen a super team, the big three, right? 2009. He saw this wasn't no super team. It was the Dwight Howard that knocked him out in the playoffs. And then 2010, he saw the big three. So he really faced no great competition in the playoffs. He faced no great competition. I got the video up. Go look at it. This guy never faced no competition. And after he melted down in both of those, can you imagine? 2007, he melted down in the finals. 8 right now against the first super team. 9 against the Dwight Howard. 10 again against this so-called super team that he had number 1 seed over, and it was the 4th seed. So he ran to Miami. Well, like, bro, you had the number 1 seed 2 years in a row. Why would you run to Miami? So he quit on his team as a number 1 seed. Do you believe that? In an MVP. In a weak era. I mean, it don't get no weaker than that. And when we talk about, Boston, look at them. This is not one of the great Boston teams. These guys came together in 2008. Yes, they won the championship. They didn't go the next year. They lost to Kobe in 2010. And that was pretty much it. They was together for like 6 years. And they only won a Western Conference title 1 time. This is the most underachieving team of all time. LeBron, minus the championship, he did more than they did. Yes, they won a championship, but he won back-to-back MVPs. He won the East. Did I say Western Conference championship? I think that's what I said. But yeah, they only won one Eastern Conference championship in 6 years. This is how good this team was. I mean, it's a joke. This is LeBron's competition, and this is the competition had got so bad in the NBA. Once they took out hand checking, well, basically took out defense. The competition was really anybody could do anything. You could. I'm gonna do a video on this because in the LeBron era, like in the 2000s, 2010s, whoever had the number 1 seed, it really didn't mean nothing. Okay, when you look at the 80s and the 90s And I don't know if I went to the 70s, but I already know I went to the 80s and 90s. Whoever had the number one seed in the East or the West, 9 out of 10 times, you was going to the finals. You was going to the finals. In that LeBron era from the 2000 or two when he came in 2003, I would say a little bit before that. Let's just say, about 2003 all the way until 2019. The number one seed meant nothing. It meant nothing. You could just lay back, play around, not practice, go have fun, hit the club, do whatever, and let somebody else get the number one seed and come back and whoop up on them. This is what type of NBA LeBron played in. These guys were all about business. That's only, I think what he has with his super teams, he only has two. No, he only has 161 season, if I'm not mistaken. And that was with Miami. Could you imagine? I think Jordan had like 5 in the 90s with Chicago. I mean, LeBron should have, it's a joke. LeBron should have the most 60-win seasons with all that help that he had in the weak East, especially the 210s. I think he only won the conference 2 times. One time with Miami, one time with Cleveland. But it seems like he was taking it more serious when he was with Cleveland the first time. Because he won 2, and he won 2 straight. And he had the best record in the NBA. So it seems like the guy was taking it more serious. But once he got, into the playoffs and he started choking, he started seeing that, man, I got all these shortcomings, man. I gotta go get help. And, nothing wrong with getting help, but this guy went and got too much help. He went and played with other teams' number 1 franchise players. And I'm talking about like number 1 franchise players, top 5 picks, the number 1 players of the team. Michael Jordan never did that. Dennis Rodman was never a number 1 franchise player. Scottie Pippen wasn't. So, I mean, this is why this guy is disqualified. He's just a choke artist, and he's a meltdown artist. So I don't really know what his fans is talking about. The media, that's why I don't mess with Chris Broussard, Stephen A. Smith, Rob Parker. These guys is just paid to sell the NBA. And pretty much, it's nothing wrong with that. But when these guys lie and say this guy is number 2, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. It's not even close. If Kobe ran and got number 1, other teams' number 1 franchise players from other teams, they would be killing Kobe. They would be killing Jordan if Kobe did that all of his career. Or 3 times. Kobe didn't run from the Lakers. Hakeem didn't run from the Rockets. Jordan, he didn't run from the Bulls. You just got to wait for your time. And this is something LeBron could never do because he saw his future. He was to blame for all the losing. Michael Jordan wasn't to blame. Hakeem wasn't to blame. Kobe wasn't to blame. LeBron was. So, a lot of people are going to tell on this guy later on. Dwayne Wade already told on this guy. He didn't go to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction. A lot of guys is going to be just killing this guy once he retires. Because the NBA, they're not going to want nothing to do with this guy no more. He's going to be useless. And all of his shortcomings are really going to come to the surface. I think Wemby is going to be the next guy who just we're going to forget about this guy. I already want to forget about this guy, but the league doesn't for some reason because this guy causes controversy. It's not nothing good of being any kind of a debate, but it's just controversy. So that's what the NBA likes now. They don't like a winner. They like something that will cause controversy, so it'll sell. Tell me what you think.